has been the FM 94.9 Authentic Surf Report.
Thank you, Bird. The next FM 94.9 Authentic Surf Report coming up again this afternoon about 2:15 on the Halloran program, and then again tonight at around 8:15. Boomer. It is 7:31, and Tommy and I are thrilled to welcome Ed O'Brien from Radiohead to FM 94.9. Ed, can you hear us all right?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, Ed, good morning. Welcome to the program. It's great to have you here.
It's nice to be with you in San Diego. The surf sounds great.
There's some decent weather somewhere in the world right now. So.
Not here in London, sadly.
Well, it's great you can join us this morning, and we've got a whole host of questions we wanted to run by you and kind of geek out a little bit. But, Garrett, what did you want to ask Ed?
Well, the first thing I want to ask, Ed, is, we're thrilled to find out that you have announced that you will be playing in North America this year, and we noticed that San Diego is one of the cities that is listed. So I'm curious if we're able to get any additional info out of you. What part of the year are you planning on being over here, you know?
I think we can. I'm allowed to say it's August.
August, okay.
Yeah, I'm convenient enough. I don't have my list on me, so yeah, I'm usually vague, and it is August, near the end of August.
That's a great time to be in San Diego.
Yeah, we've been many times to San Diego, and yeah, August would be great.
Those pair of shows that the band did back in, I believe, June of, was it 05, at Bayside were absolutely incredible, a great setting, and of course you were out working on some of the new material that is now on in Rainbows. So I guess that leads to the question, was that the decision to go out and test drive all the material before you went into the studio, or was some of the work already done before you went on the road?
No, we spent about a year kind of self-producing and doing some stuff, and it just hadn't happened, and we were feeling a little bit kind of insecure about the whole thing, and what we decided to, what our usual thing that we've done when things aren't feeling so good, we decide to go and play songs in front of people and go out on tour for a bit. And it's a double-edged sword, because it's always such a pleasure and a treat and a privilege to play in front of people. But the problem is, by the time that tour had finished, we played these songs about 60 times, and we were really bored of them, and then we had to go and record them. So we wanted it to be a sort of a fairly quick process, and we thought the idea was we'd go out on tour, play them in, and then go in the studio and record them live with Nigel Godrich, our producer. And it didn't work out like that, because when we got back in the studio, they just weren't good enough. So we've done most of the bulk of the recording was 2007, and we had to sort of really knuckle down and nail them. But thankfully, I think we really did it.
And Ed, were you really aiming for an album release at the end of 2007, early 2008? You sort of had this schedule for yourselves. You wanted to get the album out then?
Yeah, we knew we had to put a deadline on what we did, and we knew that June, we had to finish all the mixing and all the track listing. Mastering could go on during the summer, but basically by June of 2007, which meant that we would have a download release we were looking at September, October, with a physical release in about now, which is exactly how it's panned out.
So the plan was originally, this wasn't something that was just hatched in the final moments. Okay, the record's done, let's put it online. Was this always the plan?
No, it wasn't always the plan. About April of last year, we were about 80% through the record, and our management we're out of contract, and they were like, we'll wait and see what kind of record you've done. If they were saying, if you're going to do one of our art house projects records, that maybe a download situation or a small independent might be perfect. But we didn't make that kind of a record. So that they had this idea of the download only, and that's what they originally wanted to do. They wanted it just to be pure kind of download and a box set, and that was it. But we were kind of like, well, we think it's important to have a CD out there, and I still buy CDs, and there's something nice about having that CD in your hand and everything, and we wanted to do that. So we had a rough plan, but it wasn't like, usually these plans have sort of taken 2 or 3 years to come together, and this all came together quite quickly. We sort of decided on it for April, May of last year, and by October the thing was released, and we hadn't even finished the record, and it hadn't been mastered until the beginning of September. So it all happened, relatively speaking, in sort of quite speedy terms for the music industry.
Ed, that's wonderful that you mentioned that you still enjoy buying CDs, and I think one of the reasons Radiohead has such a following is because you guys still engage in the whole idea of albums and thematic programming for your music. And I guess I wanted to ask, how far back do some of the songs on In Rainbows date? Because you played some of them here in 2005 in Southern California, but how far back do some of those songs go?
Well, Nude, which is the third track on the record, we played that. In fact, we recorded that. We did a version of that when we were recording OK Computer. And, you know, we did a kind of a nice version of it, but it wasn't right. And we even played it on that tour, on the OK Computer tour. We played it live, but it had a different arrangement and it had a different feel. You know, it's funny with a song like that because songs have their times, they have their moments. You know, like I always think that like really great songs as well, they have their times of the day. You know, there can be a great song, but it might only really make sense at 5 o'clock in the morning, or the great song that the Damn New Rose makes sense. It doesn't make sense necessarily at 7 in the morning, but 7 in the evening before you go out, boy, you know, it really does its job. So it's kind of the same way when you're kind of recording songs, that you can't really force things too much. If they don't feel right, you know that something's good, but if you can't feel it and you can't put everything into it, then you just have to wait, and you just have to sort of let it gestate and lie there a bit, and then you can come back to it in a couple of years or so.
Ed, the record is absolutely a stunner, and it's a grower as well. I mean, I loved it when I first got it and downloaded it, and was looking forward to the day I could actually have the CD and listen to it in its full sonic beauty. The songs are killer, but I'm curious, do you have a personal favorite song on the album for you?
I love Body Snatchers. I mean, I think that's like I love it when we rock it up a bit, because you know, we used to do that a lot, and we don't do that so much. And I still get a thrill, kind of like 3 guitars and driving rhythm section, and it still gets me. But I don't know. I mean, I love Jigsaw, and I love Reckoner, and Arpeggi. I mean, and that was the thing about the record, that normally that you sort of, not normally, but I think on Hail to the Thief and Amnesiac certainly, there would be tracks on there that I wasn't so fond of. And that had never been the case on the Benz, OK Computer and Kid A. They'd always been, you know, we'd fought over the songs, but we came to a unanimous decision, and we rediscovered that process again. We had to fight a little bit, but we found that thing that we all agreed on, and they were the 10 tracks that made it and that we all loved. So it really depends on the mood. And the last week we've been rehearsing, and we've been playing some of the songs, trying to work them up, and we've been playing Arpeggi, and it's really hard to play as a band, because it's a lot of this record is groove based as well, so you got to get the right tempos and the grooves, and they can be a bit intricate. So Arpeggi's kind of doing it for me at the moment, really, I guess.
Boy, that's funny what you said about the right time of day, and it goes with the right lighting for the right songs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too.
Yeah, the right emotion.
Yeah, exactly, and what a certain type of day brings to how you're hearing the music. But when you guys bring songs to each other, I mean, I guess I want to get a little bit of an insight into how you guys write your songs. I mean, are you individually writing songs and bringing them to the band? What's the give and take like when you guys are making a record?
Well, the first thing is that Tom writes all the lyrics, which is right, and if he's such a prolific songwriter, so he writes the bulk of the song, the music and the chords. Often Johnny will have contributed to that as well, but when he brings them in, what we do as a band is that we do all the arranging, and we do all the, we all write our own parts and stuff like that. The analogy has always been, Tom has always said, well, it's like I come in with the sketches, and then we make the painting together on the canvas, we colour it in, we might rearrange things and stuff like that. So that's generally that's traditionally how it's worked as well, forever actually, with us.
Ed, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that you're doing this and taking time out of your day to talk to radio stations all over about the record and the tour. And just curious about the tour quickly. I noticed on some of the webcasts you've been doing some really interesting and very tasty cover songs. Will that be the case on the tour?
Well, it'd be great, I mean, we used to do Nobody Does It Better, the old Carly Simon song. and that was great. That was such fun to do. And we've done Cinnamon Girl, Neil Young's Cinnamon Girl.
Oh, nice.
And it'd be great to throw in. Yeah, it'd be great to throw in. We did New Order Ceremony, and we did the Smiths, Headmaster Ritual. And we've been rehearsing Happy House, Susie and the Banshees.
Cool.
And it's funny because we've been doing all this 80s stuff, which is kind of like which is our youth, really, which is, you know, when we were teenagers, and they were very formative years, you know, those bands. And Johnny, who's about 4 years younger than the rest of us, he said, I'm getting fed up of this 80s shit that you guys are doing. Why can't we do something about the same era when we were like going, what sort of MC Hammer and Ice Ice Baby and all that stuff? That was kind of more your era.
Radiohead doing Ice Ice Baby. That's
more Johnny's era. So we kind of nipped that one in the bud, really. But no, it'd be nice to. It's really good. It's a really good way of, like, when you don't want to play your own stuff and the pressure's off, just to play other people's songs is such a great thing to do. It's like, you know, and you play songs that you adore and you've had some kind of connection with. It's great.
Ed, I'm sorry, we got to jump, and I know that I'm getting the high sign here that we're going over on our time. But once again, we're really looking forward to seeing Radiohead on tour this year. Thrilled that you're coming back to San Diego. We love the record, and maybe if you guys are feeling it, I know you're doing some radio stuff. I know you're doing a BBC takeover. We'd love to invite the band in to do something here in San Diego on FM 94.9 when you're here in August. And consider that. Spread that around to the guys, if you would.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Let's drop a track in right now, and we'll play the track that right now I'm completely hooked on, and sounds like Ed's into too. This is Body Snatchers from In Rainbows. Ed from Radiohead, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ed.
Man. Hey, thanks, Garrett. Thanks, Tommy. Good luck to you both.
Thanks. Take care.
Thanks, man.
You too. Bye.